Most people think decluttering brings peace, but for many older adults, it leads to more stress, more mess, and sometimes even more danger. You might start with good intentions, clearing out the garage, tidying up old drawers, but end up feeling overwhelmed, confused, and even unsafe in your own home. That cleaning spree? If done the wrong way, it can actually make it harder to find what matters, harder to move around safely, and harder to feel truly at home. In this video, I'll walk you through 8 common decluttering mistakes that seniors often make, mistakes that don't just waste time but can steal your energy, peace of mind, and even your independence. And more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them. These are simple, practical changes you can start today, no special tools, no pressure, and no judgment. I'm Lewis, and this is Better Aging Advice. I help older adults cut through the clutter, literally and figuratively, and make aging a time of strength, clarity, and purpose. If you've ever felt stuck in your own stuff, or unsure of what to keep and what to let go, this is for you. Let's make your space a place of comfort, not chaos. Mistake 1, starting without a clear plan. One of the most common and exhausting mistakes seniors make when trying to declutter is starting without any kind of clear plan. You get a sudden burst of motivation, maybe triggered by a change in the season, a family visit coming up, or just feeling overwhelmed by the buildup of stuff around you. So you start pulling things out from every corner, closets, drawers, cabinets, and before long, your space looks worse than when you started. What began as a quick project now feels like a mountain of chaos. There are half-sorted piles everywhere, and you're not sure what's trash, what's sentimental, or what just needs a new home. Your back aches. You're mentally drained. And worst of all, you don't feel any closer to clarity or calm. This happens because there was no roadmap. No destination. Just motion without direction. The fix is simple, but powerful. Start with one small zone. Choose a single drawer. One shelf. A tiny section of a countertop. That's it. Commit to fully decluttering and organizing just that one space before touching anything else. Not only does this make the task more manageable, but it gives you a clear beginning, middle, and end. It's a small win, and small wins build momentum. This matters deeply for older adults. As we age, our physical energy changes. Tasks that used to take minutes can now take hours. Decluttering without a plan leads to quicker fatigue, and the frustration that comes from unfinished messes can linger for days. Not to mention the emotional toll. Some items are tied to memories, loved ones, or parts of life we're not ready to let go of. By focusing on just one zone, you protect your energy, reduce stress, and set yourself up for success. You also create a safe, satisfying rhythm that doesn't drain you. You control the pace. You decide when it's enough for the day. Think of it like eating a meal, one bite at a time. You wouldn't try to swallow the whole plate at once. Decluttering works the same way. Small, focused steps are the key to lasting peace, not just more piles in different places. Mistake 2, tossing sentimental items too fast in the rush to get rid of the clutter. Many older adults make a painful mistake. They toss sentimental items too quickly. Old letters, handmade gifts, photos, even worn-out clothing with stories behind them. They go straight into the donate pile or the trash. Not because you don't care, but because you feel like you should let go. Maybe someone said, "You don't need this anymore," or you're trying to create space for safety and simplicity. But what happens next? The guilt creeps in. A wave of regret when you realize that item wasn't just an object, it was a memory, a connection to someone you loved, or a part of your story. Worse, it can spark family tension. A child or grandchild may ask, "Why did you get rid of that?" And suddenly, decluttering becomes emotional landmines instead of a peaceful process. The fix? Create a memory box. This isn't a junk drawer. It's a dedicated space, a bin, box, or chest, where you place items that feel too meaningful to toss right away. Then, once a month, sit down with a loved one and go through a few things. Share the story. Laugh. Maybe cry. Decide together what stays, what gets photographed, and what can finally be let go with peace. There's science behind this, too. Studies show that emotional attachment to objects is deeply tied to our identity, especially as we age. Tossing items too fast creates internal conflict and cognitive strain. It feels like erasing a part of yourself. But when decisions are made gradually, with support, they become healing instead of stressful. Still watching? This next one changed everything for a 78-year-old woman I spoke with. She thought she was decluttering, but it nearly sent her to the ER. Mistake 3, decluttering alone without telling anyone. Many seniors take pride in their independence, and that's a beautiful thing. But when it comes to decluttering, trying to do it all alone can lead to real problems. You may not want to bother your family. Or maybe you think, it's just a few boxes, I'll be fine. But what starts as a simple task can quickly turn risky or even harmful when no one knows you're doing it. Imagine this, you're lifting an old box from the top shelf or bending over repeatedly to sort through storage bins. Then, a sudden back twinge, a slip, or worse, a fall. And no one is there to help. Or you accidentally give away a family item someone else was attached to, and it creates conflict that could have been avoided. The fix? Involve someone you trust. This doesn't mean handing over control. It means inviting in a bit of support. Let a family member, neighbor, or even a friend know what you're doing and when. Ask for help moving heavy items or sorting things you're unsure about. You're not just protecting your body, you're protecting your relationships and your peace of mind. Why is this especially important as we age? Because the risk of injury increases significantly in seniors, especially when lifting, bending, or navigating cluttered spaces. A fall can mean a hospital stay, lost mobility, or months of recovery. Even if you feel strong, accidents happen fast. And beyond physical risk, making big decisions alone, especially about sentimental items, can feel emotionally heavy. Involving others brings emotional clarity and physical safety. It creates connection. Sometimes, just talking about why something matters can help you decide whether it stays or goes. And you might be surprised, others may want to keep or repurpose things in ways that preserve the memory, not just the object. Remember, accepting help doesn't mean giving up control. It means making wise choices to protect your health, your home, and your legacy. Mistake 4, throwing everything into donation bags without sorting. It's so easy to grab a donation bag, start tossing in whatever you no longer need, and think you're making progress. But without sorting things out first, you're setting yourself up for regret later. Those items you tossed in a rush might have been things you still needed, or even worse, sentimental pieces you wish you'd kept. And once the bags are gone, the emotional damage is done. It's harder to retrace your steps. The fix? Use the 3-box system: keep, donate, and not sure. Instead of throwing everything into one pile, create 3 distinct boxes, or bags, for each category. As you go through your things, decide: keep, things that are useful, valuable, or meaningful to you. Donate, things that can be passed on to someone who will use them. Not sure, items you're unsure about but don't want to make a snap decision on. Place these items in their own box for now. Come back to it later, when you've had time to think or when a trusted family member can help. Why does this matter? As we age, decision fatigue is real. We get tired of making decisions, and that leads to rushed choices. By separating your items into categories, you give yourself breathing room to make better decisions. The not sure box lets you avoid the pressure of deciding in the moment, and when you revisit it later, you'll feel more confident about your choices. After switching to the 3-box system, a retired teacher named Clara said it felt like her house finally breathed again, without any guilt. She could take a step back, trust the process, and revisit her decisions at a time that felt right. This system not only makes the physical task of decluttering more organized, but it also provides the mental space you need to make thoughtful, stress-free decisions. It's a simple trick that can make a world of difference in avoiding overwhelm and regret later. Mistake 5, getting rid of useful old tools or adaptations. One of the most common mistakes seniors make when decluttering is tossing out old tools, gadgets, or adaptations that are actually still helpful, simply because they look outdated or no longer match the new space you're trying to create. You might think, I don't need this anymore, it's just clutter. But what you're really throwing away is your independence. Over time, we collect tools that help us with things like balance, mobility, or even just managing everyday tasks. Things like grab bars, special shoes, medication organizers, or adaptive kitchen tools might seem like unnecessary clutter when you're focused on creating a more streamlined, minimal space. But those items aren't junk. They're investments in your well-being and your independence. The fix? Test each tool for its current functionality. Before getting rid of something, ask yourself, does this improve my daily life? If a cane, walker, or adaptive tool helps you stay independent and safe, it's worth keeping, even if it's a bit worn or not as shiny as it once was. Why does this matter? Many seniors experience a sense of pride and self-reliance, and using certain tools is part of maintaining that independence. Tossing them out can feel like giving up control. But the reality is, as we age, these tools aren't just accessories, they're aids that enhance our quality of life. They help us avoid falls, save time, and preserve energy. Here's an analogy to consider: it's not junk if it helps you stay independent. Think of it like your favorite pair of shoes. They might be scuffed, they might be a little worn out, but they fit perfectly and help you get where you need to go. Just because something is old doesn't mean it doesn't serve its purpose. This mindset shift is crucial. If an item is helping you stay safe, active, or self-sufficient, it's not clutter, it's a tool that supports your life. Keep those that bring you value, and don't let a desire for a neat space rob you of your independence. Mistake 6. Trying to declutter an entire room in one day. When you look around a cluttered room, the overwhelming thought is, I need to get all of this done today. The idea of tackling an entire room in one go may sound tempting. After all, getting it all done will make you feel accomplished. But this often leads to physical exhaustion, frustration, and a sense of failure when the job is only half finished. Trying to declutter an entire room in one day is a surefire way to burn yourself out. You may start strong, but fatigue will quickly set in. By the end of the day, your back hurts, your mind is fuzzy, and all you can see is a mess that's still not fully organized. Instead of feeling accomplished, you feel more overwhelmed than before. The fix? Break the task into 15-minute sessions with regular breaks. Rather than attempting to declutter a whole room, set a timer for just 15 minutes of focused work. Tackle a small section, maybe just one shelf or one corner, and stop when the timer goes off. Then take a 10-minute break to rest, hydrate, or walk around before you start again. Repeat this cycle, and you'll find that you're able to make steady progress without overloading yourself physically or mentally. Why is this important? As we age, both our physical and cognitive stamina naturally decrease. Energy pacing is key to making sure we don't burn out too early. Seniors benefit greatly from shorter bursts of effort because it helps maintain focus and reduces mental fatigue. A few focused minutes followed by a break can actually improve efficiency and keep you feeling sharp throughout the day. Studies show that cognitive focus is sharper in shorter bursts, which makes your decision-making clearer and more deliberate. When you push yourself to declutter for hours at a time, your mind becomes tired, and you start making impulsive or unclear decisions, like tossing things you might want to keep. But by pacing yourself, you maintain your mental clarity and emotional balance throughout the process. Think of it like running a race. You wouldn't sprint the entire way, right? You'd pace yourself, take strategic breaks, and finish strong. Decluttering works the same way. Give yourself permission to take breaks and celebrate small wins. You'll make consistent progress, and most importantly, you'll avoid the burnout that comes with trying to do it all at once. Mistake 7. Ignoring safety hazards while rearranging. Rearranging your home can be a great way to freshen up your space and feel more organized, but there's a hidden danger many seniors overlook: safety hazards. Moving furniture around or stacking boxes can unintentionally create new trip hazards and increase your risk of falling. In the pursuit of a cleaner, more organized home, you might unknowingly create obstacles that make it harder to navigate through rooms, especially if you're not as mobile as you used to be. Imagine this: you've just cleared a corner, and suddenly a stack of boxes is blocking your favorite chair. Or, in an attempt to make more space, you've placed a piece of furniture too close to a hallway. These small changes can make a huge difference when it comes to preventing accidents. The fix? Keep pathways clear and well lit, and avoid placing anything near foot traffic zones. When rearranging, Make sure to keep clear, wide pathways between furniture and walkways. There should be enough space for you to walk comfortably without bumping into anything. Consider using non-slip mats and ensuring that rugs are firmly in place. If you've moved a lamp or piece of furniture, double check that it doesn't block your line of sight or create a trip hazard. It's also a good idea to make sure hallways are well lit, especially at night when your vision is less sharp. It's easy to overlook, but lighting plays a crucial role in your safety. A well-lit space helps you see potential hazards before you encounter them. And don't forget about corners. Round off any sharp edges on tables or furniture to prevent injury if you do happen to bump into them. Why does this matter? Statistics show that 60% of falls happen at home, often as a result of something simple, like moving a piece of furniture or attempting a cleanup. These falls can lead to serious injuries, and the recovery time is much longer as we age. In fact, the risk of falls increases significantly in seniors due to changes in balance and muscle strength. Creating a safe home environment is about more than just aesthetics, it's about protecting your independence. You want your home to be a space that supports you, not one that makes daily tasks harder or more dangerous. So before you make any more changes, step back and think about the layout. Can you move things around to make the room safer, or are you unintentionally increasing your risk of a fall? Taking a little extra time to ensure that your space is safe will help you enjoy your home for years to come, with the peace of mind that you're taking care of your health. Mistake 8, decluttering without considering legacy or meaning. When you begin decluttering, it's easy to get so caught up in the process of tidying up that you forget about the legacy you're leaving behind. You might toss out old family photos, heirlooms, or items that have deep sentimental value, thinking they're just taking up space. But what you're really doing is losing a piece of your family's history, something that could mean the world to your children or grandchildren later on. One senior I spoke with, Marie, decided to declutter her attic one afternoon, hoping to make space for a new hobby. While cleaning, she tossed out old boxes of photographs and letters, not realizing they were filled with family memories. When she shared the story with her children, they were heartbroken. Those items weren't just old junk, they were pieces of their heritage, full of meaning and personal history. The fix? Label photos, pass down stories, and involve grandkids in memory sharing. Rather than mindlessly discarding items, take the time to organize and preserve what matters most. Label family photos with names, dates, and the stories behind them. This not only helps keep the memories intact but also makes it easier for future generations to understand and cherish them. You can also pass down stories, talk about the items you're keeping. Share why they are important and what memories they hold. Involve your grandkids or loved ones in this process, and let them help you organize or preserve these treasures. This act of sharing becomes an opportunity to connect emotionally while also giving them a sense of belonging and family history. Why does this matter? Decluttering isn't just about space, it's about preserving meaning. While it's important to make room for new memories, it's equally vital to hold on to the items that tell the stories of who you are and where you've come from. These items, whether it's a beloved quilt, a grandmother's necklace, or even handwritten letters, hold a deeper significance than just their material value. They represent connection, love, and shared history. The emotional weight of decluttering is often underestimated. As we age, we reflect on our legacy more deeply, and those physical items carry emotional weight. By taking the time to preserve and share these memories, you're not only decluttering, you're making sure that your family's story doesn't fade into the background. So, the next time you're cleaning out a drawer or going through old items, ask yourself, what will this mean to my loved ones? Don't just think about clearing space, think about what you're leaving behind, and make sure it's something meaningful. Think of thoughtful decluttering like curating a museum of your life. Every item you choose to keep or pass on becomes part of your legacy. This isn't about perfection, it's about peace, safety, and honoring what matters most. Which of these mistakes have you seen, or maybe even made? No judgment, just share in the comments so others can learn too. If this video helped you or a loved one, tap like and subscribe. At Better Aging Advice, we're here to make aging feel less like a struggle, and more like wisdom in motion.